Hello, I am Luna, and I'd like to welcome you to my little shop of spirit. In today's reading, we'll be answering the question, why have you been so single? And maybe why have you been single for so long? This reading was requested, so I just want to thank you for that. I haven't shuffled the cards yet or jumped into the energy per se, but if you chose pile 1, you're in the right place. And I will say, no matter what pile you chose, I did get the feeling that for all of them, it's like everything that should be in place for you to be in a relationship is in place. And it's like everything that should be lined up is lined up. And every pile is like everything is lined up, everything is in place, everything is in order. So why am I still single? Today we're going to answer that question. We'll see how the reading goes, but I'm feeling like at the end of this we'll pull some charms and we'll probably very likely pull some additional cards from some different decks. But we'll just see where each of the readings takes us. So let's get into this. I'm excited. I'm drinking coffee today. It's something that I used to do habitually, but it's a habit I've dropped recently, so I'm just sort of treating myself today. And you know, there's actually been, that comes up, and I wasn't going to talk about this in this reading, but I feel like I've been balancing play more into my life, and I've been working really hard as well. And I did feel like earlier when that was like coming through to me, like just that realization that I feel like there's an intentional, but it's like flowing well, just play being incorporated into the life more, and just you're playing more and working more. I feel like you've always been a hard worker, but now you're making sure to play hard as well. So you're someone, it's coming through on your pile already, pile 1. You're someone who's really strong. You have like an internal strength and internal wisdom, I'm hearing. So, Spirit, why is pile 1 still single? I just heard bad out, bad out of hell. I'm not exactly sure or like familiar with what that means. Interesting. Ooh. Oh, this is gonna be a good reading. I'm getting so excited. So we have the 6 of Swords come out and reversed. In the reverse position, this card can represent a declaration, a confession, and publicity. And I'm getting like in my mind's eye that maybe people have confessed publicly to you like their love. Oh my gosh. I'm getting like maybe everybody that's shown interest in you has shown obsession or like too strong of an interest, and it's been an off-putting experience rather than a welcoming experience, and you haven't really connected with anybody because of it, because you're on the receiving end of obsession. This card in the reverse position can represent a proposal of love as well. But I feel like these proposals for you feel like they just come from out of nowhere. They're not like proposals that you feel attracted to. You may be flattered by them, and I feel like you can almost see how you could make relationships with the people who have offered you love. You can like envision how you could make relationships with them work. But it's like you feel like you would be on the underside, and that's reminding me, like as I was coming into this reading I heard underbelly, but I wasn't sure how that was going to be connected to the reading, and I kind of like slipped away from consciousness, but it's coming back to my awareness in this moment with that reminder. And what I was getting at there though was, it almost feels like if you were to take these offers, like I was saying, you could envision how you could make these offers work, how they could be really even beneficial in your life in some sense, but it almost feels like you would be on the underside, or like the shadow side, and I'm hearing dark side of the moon of your dreams. Like it may be a mirror image. These offers might bring to you like the mirror image to your life, but and I'm being reminded of like the other mother off of Coraline, and like just the whole other world where everything's almost like a mirror to her perfect reality, but there's something dark there actually. There's a darkness there to it. That's what it feels like. It's like if you accepted these offers, it wouldn't be genuine even though it would be beneficial. You know these offers could be good for you in your life, but it's not what you want. It's not what your heart wants, so I don't think you'd be happy. And I'm hearing you have the world at your fingertips. So it's coming through that also the sort of suitors that come after you may be the sort of type that's maybe egocentric, and they're sort of competitive in that sense with you, but they don't really approach you with that so directly. They approach you with more of a patience and a intentional, and it's an intentional emotional intelligence. It's not an emotional intelligence that I think these suitors live with. It's an emotional intelligence that they have within them, but that they don't use because they don't see it as beneficial for them. And I think these people are sort of self-centered, and you know, if these people were to enter your life, I feel like they would just make everything crash and burn. And if you were to enter their lives, they would feel like their whole situation is just crashing and burning. But these suitors might try to keep your attention with like what is, by your standards at this point, feeble offers of material. I just, you know, I don't know that it's like that you're just so above a small material offering. I think it's really just that you're not interested in that. You want something heartfelt, I'm hearing. And I feel like just with your suitors, like it feels like you attract very handsome people, and like on average I would say they're very handsome, but it feels like ego and the 3D is a block to your suitors like heart spaces. Like a lot of them aren't really like tapped into their heart spaces. The ones that are in this, like, you know, they might approach you patiently and they might give you like small material offerings, and I feel like really these people feel like you're too good for them, and that energy sort of ties into also this person or these people's energy of just feeling sort of competitive with you. So I'm just hearing for you, pile one, the right person hasn't necessarily come along for you yet, but I hear you have been the right person for everybody that's come along in your life. You would have been the right person for all of these people that have made you offers. Of course, like you're divine. When you walk away, okay, you're leaving behind everything. Like these people feel like they're losing everything when you leave. When you leave, people feel like they're losing their luck. They feel like they're losing fame, fortune. You feel like you have access to something like really special. So when people feel like they have access to you, they have access to this something special, and they don't really even know what it is. They don't really understand it. You know, they see glimpses of it, but they don't see like behind the curtain and where you're going to access this information or whatever is special. And you feel like mystical and otherworldly and hard to reach. I'm hearing for many people, you are temptation. I think you've had to navigate others' temptation. I think you have such strong willpower personally because you, like, I don't really feel like you battle too much with your own willpower. I feel like you have, like, pretty strong willpower. And I feel like maybe part of that comes from you've had to actually like tame other people's willpower when it comes to their advances towards you and just how they interact with you. You've had to keep in check other people's willpower so much that you don't really even struggle with your own, even though it seems like something people struggle with in general because you have to, you know, you've had so much experience with having to check others, but it's become something that's actually, you know, it's become a strength of yours. It's one reason why you're strong. And I'm just seeing too, like your aura is pink, dense pink, dark pink, light pink, deep pink, just very, you are incredibly loving, and I think people just want to latch on to you. And I'm just hearing that one song I think Sam Smith is part of it, and it's by Disclosure, I think it's called. I don't know if it's called Latching Onto You or Latch, something like that, but that song is coming through for you. Like, I think when people get a taste of your energy, like, they do not want to let you go. But that doesn't mean that just because you're right for all of those people doesn't mean all those people are right for you. And I don't know why, but it's coming through strongly, and I just wanted to share that 175 in each of those numbers may be significant to you, and also the color green. And I feel like you might be like heavily connected to like a grandparent, either like living or ancestrally, and that's just coming through. But what I was getting to a moment ago was just because you're right for so many people, and it feels like really everybody that comes into your life you would be right for, doesn't mean they would be right for you. And I feel like pile one for you, why you've been single for so long, is because Mr. or Mrs. Right hasn't come along for you yet. Spirit, is there any final messages you want to add to this reading? So pile one, you are someone who you're worthy of a beginning in love and a family, having a castle of your own, and being enchanted in the wonderment of love. I think you want to make an attempt, or you are in the process of attempting or designing, like, I'm hearing a love map, and you're wishing and you're hopeful, but you're also confident. There's some element though of quarrel here, and I feel like maybe what it is, I'm hearing just the hands of time, and maybe previous love offers have felt just, they've been fun, but they felt like a bit of a circus. You know, you may have had people you've had fun with before, but you've had no ability to envision yourself with these people in the long run, because the relationship felt like separate acts in the circus. Each connection wasn't its own act in the circus. In this moment though, you're strong, wise, free, and brave, courageous, liberated. In love, you have assured success. There is a route to it for you. And there's a message of voyage, immigration, flight, change of place, experience, route. And I'm hearing trade, Silk Road. You will reach a place of abundance, and the heavy horse that you rode on this journey, it will bring you to a rectification. I'm hearing interest paid, and it's like you have committed to some sort of long-term investment, and this investment is sure to come back to you, and it's sort of already in the works. I'm hearing the ball is rolling, and I just heard the eagle is landing. It almost feels like there's been like some, I don't know how to say it, but like not like, I don't know if like covert. It doesn't feel like, you know, it's been like hidden in a malicious way, but it's almost like there's like, you know, the sort of operation where you would use like walkie-talkies, like a plan is being executed. I feel like pile one, you have a plan in love and you are executing it. So what action does pile one need to take to bring themselves closer to their highest paths in love, their highest timelines in love? I'm hearing remain happy, be conservative, but explorative. There's a mystery here that you need to search. And I just heard breaking curfew a moment ago, and I feel like pushing curfew. I feel like, you know, maybe don't be like a total outlaw is not the message that's coming through, but like symbolically it's like maybe you are 15 to 30 minutes late to your spiritual curfew, and you know, you spend a little extra time right now really is what this means, digging through this mystery of yours. You're shielded in this moment and going through a transformation, one where you're going to ultimately come together with your divine counterpart, literally the mirror to you. You know how when you look in the mirror there's a separate self, but really the two parts are, there's no separation. That's what your counterpart is going to be like to you. It's like you will be staring into yourself, and even though there's two separate beings there will be no separation. You're coming into a very beautiful time, and this is your reading. Wow, that one. The last card that we land on is Lark, and The key words for this bird are joy, celebration, freedom. The symbols are sun, music note, feather. The temperament is joyful, free-spirited, and the colors are brown and white. I feel like, this relationship is going to be something that is very grounded and pure and meaningful and something that lasts for life. And I'm getting the image also of animals that are monogamous, like swans and sea otters, I believe also are. That's the sort of love that's coming your way, pile one. So this was incredibly beautiful. I hope you found meaning in that just as much as I did for you, pile one. I can definitely tell, you have a lot of love within you, and love is on the way for you, pile one. It's, the string that connects you to your cosmic counterpart, it's already connected, and you guys are just drawing nearer to one another. And I'm feeling like it's connected, like at the belly, and I can feel like a tugging sensation, almost like I'm being drawn forward. But pile one, that is everything for you on this topic for today. If you did enjoy that, don't forget to like and subscribe. Definitely feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you are called to another pile, obviously you can stick around for either of those. But if you weren't, then I hope to see you in a reading soon. Hello, pile two. I am Luna, and I'd like to welcome you to my little shop of spirit. In today's reading, we'll be answering the question, why have you been single? I channeled snake casing. I don't really think that's a thing, but the image that was coming to mind was a snake skin. I feel like he left this behind, whatever this skin was. And I also heard the opening lines from the song Feeling Good by Nina Simone. Specifically, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm getting cold chills as I pick up your cards. So let's get into your reading, pile two. Spirit, why is pile two so single? Why has pile two been single for so long? If you are new here in this pile for this reading and you did not watch pile one, I'll just share with you what I did with them because it's relevant to all the piles, and it's that for each of the piles, it didn't matter which one you were called to. For all of them, I feel like everything that is lined up or should be lined up, and everything that should be in order and in place for one to be in a relationship is with you. Like everything that you would think you have to have a partner, you do have. So where this leaves us with all the piles is with the question of why. Obviously that's why we're here anyways, to answer that question, but it's like especially why when it seems like, there's no answers because everything seems in order. So that's the case with all the piles. So, Spirit, why is pile 2 single? Wow. Pile 2. I knew I was coming into something serious because I just felt the energy. Oh my gosh. As I say that, literally on my timer was 14:28. You are something powerful. When we ask why you're so single, we get the Moon, the Empress, Knight of Swords, Justice, Eight of Swords, Seven of Coins. You are a bad bee. When I'm getting the image of someone that's like sort of winking, I feel like people, are sort of coy with you. I'm getting that your suitors are very coy. You intimidate your suitors. Your suitors wish they could approach you in a full body of armor so they could be hidden, but strong, because they know you need something strong. And as I say that, there's 1 3 through 3 on the timer. And with the Empress, there's several 3 through 3. On the Moon it's the 18th card, but we have XV, the Empress, 3, 8 of Swords, 5, 3, and I feel like there's really a strong message. You are super fertile, I'm hearing, and I'm hearing a feminine and just abundant, and I'm hearing sane. I don't know why that's coming through. I feel like it's coming through because when your suitors, they look at you, they're like, okay, I cannot play around. And as I say that, oh my goodness, 1 2 3 1 on the timer. I feel like people are they see you and they're like, oh my, they just feel like they have to run towards you and make you theirs, but then they get up to you and and you make people step all the way back to square one at 12:12 on the timer as I say that. And it's like you reset people, you make people realize like my usual tactics if I was playing around are not gonna cut it here. 1155 on the timer as I say that. And you're someone who is very like, you have a lot of mystique to you, I'm hearing. And I think people envision like a loving, abundant, just loving, very loving family with you. And they see you as, they don't know how, and it's not that you're like not their type or something, they just, I feel like they like don't see how they're like, they can envision the end, but it feels like a fantasy. It's like, I'm like feeling like having a crush on you feels like when you have a crush on a celebrity, because it feels so impossible or like out of reach. You're like, that's never gonna happen. So your suitor's like, you know, they'd rather just put your poster up on their bedroom wall and like kiss you goodnight each night. I'm just hearing too, like, you see people coming. People feel like they just can't sneak up on you. 1020 as I say that. I just got the image of someone who's like really like I just got like it, I was seeing it as Tom and Jerry, like Tom, you know, I always struggle with like knowing which character was which in that because I like grew up watching that show. And I just realized like I guess Tom is the cat because Tom cat. But anyways, I just got the image of like Tom creeping and tiptoeing down like a like the length of a hallway or something, or just like, you know, he's tiptoeing, and then the image of you as Jerry just like standing behind him watching. And it's like, you know, Tom was trying to creep up on you, but you're just like standing behind him watching. People see you as like really balanced and abundant and happy. I'm just hearing super smiling, always smiling, and the message of 3 is coming through again really strong. And you seem like whole and cosmic in that you seem like tapped into the infiniteness of the universe in some sense. People pick that up on you, and you know, you intimidate your suitors because they feel like you can just have anything you want. And they sort of view you like, right now, you do have anything. You're super mystical. Like, people don't know how to obtain you. You yourself in love to your suitors, and as I say this, 808 on the timer, you seem like a fantasy. Obtaining you seems like a fantasy. But you seem content. You seem really content. So people, when they feel like fools approaching you, you know, they feel like minuscule. They don't feel like they can offer you much in comparison to what you already offer yourself, or what your life already extends to you. And I just heard you're too smart for your own good. But you know, I don't really think that's in a bad way. I just think how that's coming through to me right now is you intimidate your suitors like intellectually. 717 on the clock as I say that, and on my timer. And you know, they feel like, I really don't like this, but they feel dumb. You know, I don't really think that you mean this or mean to do it. I just think it's circumstances, and like you being you, and you know, I mean, I feel like you can relate to this. Like, you are very intelligent, so obviously you can relate to encountering someone who makes you feel, you know, not that great about yourself, maybe because they're just being themselves. They're just being so amazing. It, you know, maybe in some sense when you don't even you can't help it, but in some sense this person is so amazing, the self stacks up against them consciously, and you know, it makes you aware of some inadequacy, and your suitors feel inadequate besides you. I'm getting the image of like when a really short partner has like a really tall partner, and specifically I'm getting the image of like a short man with like a supermodel, and that's sort of how like in 555 as I say this, that's sort of like the energy I'm getting here. Like, they feel so small in comparison to you, but they just look at you like, oh my gosh, you're like this divine thing on like this pedestal, and you deserve to be there, and oh, it's your rightful place. And I'm just like, this person wants to like, your suitors want to like shower you in classical romantic situations, like laying out beds of petals and candles and like the works, food, like everything. They want to like indulge your senses. I'm getting cold chills as I say this. Like, your suitors want to be very sensual with you. They see you as someone who's like quite witchy, but like not in like a you know, Witch of the Woods way. It's more just like you're so mystical. Like, they want to watch you brush your hair, they want to watch you button a shirt, they want to watch like just the way that you move and the way that you exist, and it's like captivating. You know, I get the image of like, it's almost like you're this queen and you're sitting on like this castle on the top of this hill, and your suitors feel like, from their perspective, they feel like they are townspeople lining up to present themselves to you, and they really hope that they make a good case, but they feel like the chances are against them, that you're gonna pick them out of this long line of suitors from the town that have lined up, and you know, the line comes from you to the town, and it goes all the way up the hill and all the way down the hill, and like the whole length. And they don't know why, when you could have the world, you would want them. You know, they feel like you, oh my god, you have a very powerful reading. Like, I cannot, my gosh, like we have the World, Wheel of Fortune, Three of Cups, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands, Four of Wands, the Hierophant, the Fool, the Emperor, like pile two. Good God, you're intimidating to me. You're honestly like super awesome though. Like, I don't really feel, you know, I don't really face intimidation that much, or I try not to. It's not like an emotion I try to hold, or you know, I just don't feel it that much in me. I try to have like love and compassion for everybody, and like, you know, I'm more of like the sort of person that's like, if someone's doing better than me, I'm like, get it, yes. But you are admirable. Like, when I say you're intimidating, like, I want to say to you, to, you know, my inspiration board, you seem like a go-getter, and you seem like the sort of person I would love to meet up with to discuss. I don't know why this is coming through like this, but I'm getting the image of like people who meet up to copy edit each other's work, and they're like, maybe they have some drinks or they have some food together, but they're like meeting out. And 151, as I say that on the timer, it's almost like you and another person, or you and other people coming together to create change in one another's lives, in like a business sense, in like a creative sense, in a expanding sense. People see all that you have, and they're like, it makes them feel, it's, oh my gosh, you have your counterpart coming, and oh my goodness, when I tell you, we have the Empress and the Emperor coming out in your reading. You're making things happen in your life, and it's interesting because when I envision you like on your throne, you're sort of like passively sitting there, so it almost looks like you're not, it almost seems like you're not doing things, or I don't know, you make it look easier or something. But your counterpart is someone who feels like, in some sense, they will open your eyes to something. And you know what? I feel like the thing maybe that they will open your eyes to is you not realizing that a certain way was possible. A certain way to do with love. Like, your partner will make you realize something was possible that you never realized was possible before. This person will open your eyes to that. Oh my god, pile 2. Like, what the, are you serious? I'm getting cold chills, dude. Like, as I say this, on the bottom of the deck, King of Cups, as I'm discussing your partner opening your eyes to something to do with, you know, something being possible to do with the heart. Then we have the Sun come out. You're gonna feel awakened to something. And behind that, Two of Cups. That's disgusting. Okay. In like a, you know, a comical sense, I'm saying that. You know, not in a literal sense. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, Pal, too. Like, it's beautiful. Your reading is beautiful. So I want to pull some additional cards and just see if there's any action you can take, Pile 2. What action can you take, Pile 2, to bring you closer to your highest timeline in love? Alright, Pile 2. So, we will just go through, I want to go through the cards because I want the messages to come through for you however they need to. I'm just feeling called to do that in this moment. So we have the Shadow card. The Judge, the Herald, the Sage, the Mother, the Father, the Oracle, and in a reverse reverse position, we have the flame. So in answering the question, what action do you need to take? The spirit animals that come through for you, pile 2, are bat, eagle, owl in threes, so that symbol of 3 is coming again, and cow, and I'm hearing sacred cow, lion, and raven. In the reversed position, we have salamander. And we also have, in relation to the symbols in answering this question, pile 2, we have the question being, what action do you need to take to bring you to your highest timeline in love? We have hidden aspects, but an announcement, and change, justice, balance, knowledge, wisdom, care, fertility, nurturing, growth, authority, protection, clairvoyance, divination. And in the reverse position, we have transformation energy. And again, I feel like this is the snake skin that you've left behind. It's left behind in the sense that it is, this is sort of strangely graphic, but it's crunchy. Representations of these cards consist of, for the shadow card, a deity cloaked in darkness. For the herald card, a deity with a trumpet. For the judge card, a deity with scales and a gavel. And as a reminder, these are I suppose, your current energy. And it's interesting as I say that, 12, 17 on the timer, the difference being 5. You know, I feel like you have closed a gap with change. Representing the sage card, we have a deity with a wise demeanor, holding a staff and scrolls. For the mother card, we have a deity nurturing children. And for the father card, a stern deity with a scepter. For the oracle card, we have, representing it, the third eye and swirling visions. And in the reversed position, representing the flame card, a fiery deity with a torch. And it's interesting because this being in the reverse position, I'm being called back to the image of you sort of sitting casually in your throne, even though there's a lot of change around you. So let's go over the symbols as well for these cards, and then we'll move on to another deck, because I was called to a deck I made that relies upon sleep symbolism, dream symbolism, so we'll jump over to that after this. When it comes to the symbols for the shadow card, we have mirror and mask. For the herald, trumpet, banner. For the judge, scales, gavel. The sage, book, staff. For the mother, cradle and wheat. The father, scepter and mountain. For the oracle card, the symbols here are tarot cards, star-filled sky, crystal ball, and there's a lot of messages about the moon coming through for you, and just nighttime, nightshade, and animals of the night, and things being cloaked in mystery and darkness, like a lot of moon and night symbolism coming through. And I feel like there is a mystical or spiritual or occult practice that allows you to tap into divination. There's an involvement here that you need to be active in. The upside down card, the reverse card, the flame, the symbols for this card are torch and phoenix. I feel like you are, a passive phoenix. I feel, and I was getting the image of this as well earlier. I feel like your pile of ash is behind you. Your shed skin is behind you, and you're sort of laying on the edge of it, limp. So I want to wrap up with just a few more cards from another deck. Spirit, what action does pile 2 need to take? Also, your dreams. Again, your dreams and being called to, the dream symbolism deck. Your dreams and the night discussion that we were talking. Energies of the night and the moon coming through. I feel like your dreams may be telling you something, or just there's something waiting for you in the night. Why'd that sound so ominous? Spirit. And I don't know why, but I've heard you've had to acquire a certain amount of skill to navigate your love life, and I guess just your life in general. And I almost feel like at times you feel like life has just been toying with you, or it just feels like you may have asked or just felt like at times to the universe, is this a game to you? Just that you're being toyed with, and you feel sort of 636 on the timer, I know this, but I was trying to gather how to encapsulate the energy that I'm feeling, but it's I wanted to say, I almost feel like it's just you're piled up, on the edges of this thing that you've left behind, and in 606 as I say that, and I just feel like you came into this world, I feel like, feeling rather whole, but then it's like you've had to like shed yourself entirely and become whole again. And maybe this has been like a repetitive practice, and maybe in the earlier phases of your life you felt like you were like shedding bits of yourself and like losing bits of yourself, and then you slowly started to realize with time you were actually growing more of yourself than you had access to before. You are a garden, I'm hearing, and one that you've worked diligently to water and weed. You water and weed. You know, others may not even water their garden. You are also weeding, and you're raking, and like anything you can. You're looking up what else you can do. You're very diligent and hardworking when it comes to being there for yourself. And I think, you know, you're so there for yourself you didn't even realize for a long time the ways in which you were there for yourself. And I think maybe it's because you were there for others so much that you never noticed the ways that you were there for others or yourself. I feel like this came to a head, and when it did, you came to a realization because I feel like you brought your attention back to yourself. You realized how meaningful it was to do that. You realized what it meant all this time to invest in yourself, and I'm feeling like you anchored into that, or you tied into that a little bit more. You committed to that more, and it's already showing you results. And I'm hearing you committing to yourself is what's going to bring your counterpart, and you continuing to commit to yourself, I think, is a very important phrasing there. So, Spirit, is there anything Pile 2 needs to do to bring themselves closer to their highest timeline in life? So we have 3 cards coming through, and again, this being called once again to the symbology of 3. Ooh. And I feel like maybe you went through a period, or like a lot of your life, feeling like you would find yourself in others and you didn't feel whole, unless, you know, like a very Libra approach to relationships, where it's like, you know, you seek out partnerships and you kind of don't feel whole unless you have a counterpart. And I feel like maybe you were giving yourselves to counterparts who weren't only not making you whole, but they were also like depleting you of yourself. And well, let's just go over these 3 final cards, and I will just leave you on these messages. So we have Volcano, Gift, and Devil. And just as a reminder, we're answering the question, what action do you need to take to bring you closer to your highest timeline in love? And additionally, as a reminder, this deck is inspired by dream symbology, so maybe beyond just typical symbolism, it would be relevant to you to see what the meaning of these are a bit deeper as far as dreams goes. But for now, and we'll read these in order to how they came up. So on the Volcano card, we have releasing anger or emotion, repressed emotions coming to the surface, transformation through destruction, and power and intensity building beneath the surface. Behind this, we have the gift, something given or received in relationships, excitement, gratitude, surprise, positive and unexpected event or opportunity. This card comes as a message that you may have an undiscovered creative talent, but overall, this is a time of insight. And lastly, we have the Devil card, representing temptation, attachment, anger, or repressed emotion, bad religion, disowned darkness. This card comes as a message that succumbing to temptations or negative influences may lead one to entrapment or loss of personal power. Hello, I am Luna, and I'd like to welcome you to my little shop of spirit. If you chose Pile 3, then you're in the right place. In today's reading, we will be answering the question, why have you been single for so long? So let's just jump into it, Pile 3. Spirit, why is Pile 3 single? It's almost like, and I'll use like numerology to explain this. I saw 1730 on the clock, and it reminds me of your energy, how it's almost like the completeness of you will come together once everything within you is accounted for, I'm hearing. And I'm hearing like off Dora the Explorer where it's like back, load up with the I don't know the lyrics to that, but you know, I think they're like loading up the backpack with all their trinkets and all the things that they need. It's almost like you've been on a journey of realizing or coming to terms with, I'm getting chills as I say this, but you've been on a journey of realizing the things you need have maybe been within you the whole time as well. That's another piece of this journey. You realizing that maybe in looking for your counterpart, it was within you. You are your counterpart, and you have to be your counterpart first before you can be the counterpart for another. I can tell you are incredibly beautiful, Pile 3. Like, your spirit is very beautiful. The substance that you have, I would love to meet you. And there's something that is like very complete about you. Very complete. And you offer like young but wise energy. You're very fun, but you're not trouble, or you don't bring trouble, but you're fun. So in answering the question, why have you been single so long, we get the High Priestess in reverse. You know, I feel like you have been on a path of meeting, I'm hearing this coming interjecting, but a message of all and nothing at the same time, being all, finding all of yourself, and then finding nothing once you found all of yourself, and then because and then once you found nothing, being whole again. And I just saw, as I see on the clock on my timer, 1404, and I'm reminded of error 404, server not found, or webpage not found. And it's like this error, this webpage not found, server not found is how you actually found wholeness. Being incomplete is how you became complete. You also currently embody both energy. You are both incomplete and complete. And it's interesting, oh my gosh, this reading today has been very powerful. But as I say that, you've been both incomplete and complete. On my timer is 1330. So it's like I'm hearing your completeness and your incompleteness mirror one another very strongly, and it's like in their opposites they are identical. You're highly paradoxical and really complex and very whole, and there's something very total about you. So Spirit, can you offer more insight as to why Pile 3 has been single? And I'm hearing bias and prejudice from others. Maybe others haven't really understood you. You've been maybe outcasted for a lot of your life, or felt like you were on the edge of social circles and misunderstood. I think there was a time in your life too when you were a people pleaser and you thought this is how you would find that mirror, not realizing the mirror was within yourself, and you had to look within to see what you wanted without yourself. What you wanted without yourself is within yourself, and you weren't going to see it without yourself until you saw it within yourself, and only then could you find the completeness to the cycle. Oh my god, Pile 3, as I say that, Wheel of Fortune, I Ride the Waves of Life come out. You know, this card talks about completeness, feeling like you can be the agent of change in your life. You know, destiny, karma, cycles of life, and fate coming around. I feel like you've focused probably on yourself, maybe not so much in a self-care sense, more in like I'm gonna dedicate myself only to my business, or only to my school, only to my studying, only to my whatever. Like, I feel like you had a single track focus for a really long time, and it was for you, but it wasn't necessarily done in an act of self-care. And I feel like maybe this thing maybe put you through a period where you were doing maybe the worst self-care you've ever done, this thing that you were focusing singularly on. And I feel like for a while this thing that you were focusing on, it promised like 3D material world success, but there was like a level of commitment that you needed to have to it, and you understood this and you did commit yourself to this, but this commitment that you had, it kind of blocked out connections. But you're on the other side of that commitment now, and you're like totally open to receiving. So Spirit, why is pile 3 still single then? There's like something hidden in the shadows that still needs to be dealt with for you, like a person, I feel like, waiting around the corner. I feel like this person is temptation. They don't have the best interest, your best interest in mind or at heart. And I feel like you have higher concerns to focus on, things that strengthen you, things that grow you, things that liberate you. And this person, they don't just weigh you down, they chain you down. They chain you down, they weigh you down, they drag you down, they drag you behind. This person needs to be, this connection needs to be put to rest. And I'm literally getting the image of like incineration in like ashes. Dealing with this person, you know, it may make you feel like insecure in some basic way. In basic meaning sense of security, sense of stability, sense of financial security, emotional security. Like there's some loss or something that you fear you will face in handling this person. But this is gonna keep coming around for you until you handle it. You're very beautiful, pile 3. I just need you to know that. That is coming through. There's a message here of you needing to sort of walk away and let go and abandon something with the intention of being able to reflect on the self and discover the self and look and find deeper meaning in life. 639, as I say that, it's almost like you were involved in something, but you need to detach so that you can grow bigger than this thing that you were involved in was allowing you to. You know, there's like a search for truth that needs to happen, and you need to be at the helm, and you need to be the one in charge of this incineration so that you can reach independence and find the loyalty that you deserve. You know, you can have adventure without impulse in a partner. You don't have to feel scared. You shouldn't feel scared in love or like, fearful or insecure of adventure. And I feel like maybe this person that you deal with, you know, you want to expand personally, but then this person that has attached themselves to your life, or you have some attachment to them, it's like I feel like this person came into your life and they changed your life. This person, it's like before you were just an empty slate. This person came in, changed your life. You felt like you found completion in this connection. And then with time, with the passing of time, you're realizing actually you need change to happen, or change has to happen again in some sense. And this may be a connection that comes from your childhood, or this person they're connected to your family somehow, like your family knows them, and maybe that's why you've struggled to sort of detach from this person, because it's not so easy to leave them behind. They have connections to you out that are larger than yourself. The connection is larger than either of you. So it's been hard to make a break for it, so to say. But I feel like there's been deception and maybe enemies masquerading as friends, and secrecy, hidden agendas, theft, and maybe metaphorical theft. So maybe if not oh, they stole my shirt, maybe it's an unconventional thing was stolen. I'm feeling like something intangible was stolen. Something unconventional was stolen. Something unconventional was stolen. So it's not something that's so easily oh, I love that shirt and you took that shirt. It's like this thing was stolen from you by this person and you didn't realize it was stolen, because you didn't realize, as I say this, 333 on the timer, you didn't realize this thing was something to be stolen. So when this person stole it, you wasn't like, oh, that's my favorite shirt, give me my shirt back. You were just like 3, 2, 1, as I say this on the timer. You were just sort of you thought your dreams were coming true with this person. Like, you had no idea they were a thief in your life. I've been called to this deck, so I think this is someone who is very maybe impulsive, and maybe at one point you admired and maybe even feared this about them because it seemed so powerful. But then it started to be a point of, I don't feel like contention, but you started to realize the emptiness behind these actions to this person. And I feel like for this person, maybe into impacted your life and was a very sensible figure, and you sort of didn't question them because of that. So I want to see real fast for you, pile 3, just before we go, what action can you take to bring you closer to your highest timeline in love? What action can you take to bring you closer to your highest timeline in love? Let's see. Spirit, what action does pile 3 need to take to bring them closer to their highest timeline in love? And I just heard timer, so I don't know if you need to set like a timer to something or like set a limit to something to reach a state of balance and a state of wholeness, a state of equilibrium, and to complete a cycle, to feel one with yourself again, and to be on the other side of something for once, and to finally face the fresh start that you need. I just heard chrysalis, and I felt in my body like a stiffness, like almost like you're like coming out of this chrysalis, and it's difficult to flap your wings. 1717 on the timer as I say that, and it's like there's a stiffness to the motion, but you're eager, maybe a little like trepid or like hesitant or scared, but you don't think about that. You focus on flapping your wings. So we had a stack of cards fly out. We're just going to go over every single one of them, but on the bottom of the deck, before we get into that, we have 4 of Forest. This deck here is based off of Snow White, and specifically the magic mirror. So 4 of Forest card deals with growth, transformation, and mystery. The image is 4 tall trees forming a protective circle. The keywords being security, sanctuary, and stability. And the quote on this card is, "Find peace in the shelter of the trees, for true strength grows in stillness." Let's go over these cards. We'll just go over them in order, and I will just let the cards speak for themselves. So we have Page of Mirrors representing reflection, and remember, in discussing these cards, we're answering the question, what do you need to do, pile 3, to pull yourself closer and align yourself to your highest timeline in love? We have the Page of Mirrors representing reflection, the image being a small handheld mirror glowing faintly. The keywords being curiosity, self-exploration, and potential for growth. The quote here is, "The first step to understanding the world is learning to reflect on yourself." Next, we have 3 of Forest representing growth, transformation, and mystery. I noticed, let me just look through real fast. We have mirrors, forest, mirrors, mirrors, forest, the trial, and 7 of apples. So let me go through, we'll go through, I'm just noticing here we have tons of mirrors, tons of forests, tons of growth, transformation, mystery, and reflection. Let's go through all the keywords and all the images and all the quotes at once so the messages can come through in a more threaded way. So for 3 of Forest keywords, we have growth, transformation, and mystery. For 3 of Mirrors and 4 of Mirrors, we have reflection. For Ace of Forest, we have growth, transformation, and mystery once more. For the trial card, we have challenge, judgment, and transformation. And finally, we have 7 of apples representing temptation. So for the image we have on 3 of Forest, we have a path splitting into 3 through dense woods. Next, we have 3 mirrors forming a triangle. After this, we have a mirror reflecting a serene face. Next, we have a single towering tree with roots glowing beneath the surface. Next, we have a winding staircase spiraling upward, away from an ordeal. And the final image we have is an apple hanging just out of reach. So going through these key associations to these cards, and as we go into these, we have 1, 2, 2, 2 on the timer. We have choices, different paths, exploration, multi-dimensional perspective, new growth, potential foundations of life, challenges, personal evolution, and temptation and longing. So I almost feel like this thing that you have to leave behind. And as I say this, we have 11:50 on the timer. It's almost like you have to detach from it completely, to change away from it completely, but it's something that's not so easy to do that. And not just because this thing has attachments, this connection has attachments to you that are larger than yourself, as we discussed. It's also because it's something that pulls you to it, even as you've parted ways or go to part ways. Something pulls you back. So let's close out your reading with the quotes on each of these cards. Beginning with 3 of Forest, we have, the forest may be dark, but each path leads to a new horizon. For 3 of Mirrors, we have, understanding the many sides of yourself opens the door to self-mastery. For 4 of Mirrors, we have, peace comes when we reflect on our inner calm rather than the chaos outside. For Ace of Forest, we have, every towering tree began as a seed buried in the unknown. For the trial card, every trial strengthens the soul, sharpening our resolve. And the final card we have here, and just as I was about to discuss our final card, my camera shuts off with a completely full battery. It still says it's full. I don't know what's up with that, but the last quote that we have to discuss, and we moved to a different camera just in case I need to mention that. The last quote that we have here, though, is, the things that we chase hardest are often the things that we should let go of. So I want to close out your reading here, pile 3. And actually, you know what, before we go, let's pull some charms. I didn't do this earlier, but I'm feeling called to do that for you. And I'm hearing, go outside and give it some gas. But this candle's obviously going crazy because the herbs are like burning at this point, so let's like get this wrapped up. And also my camera, okay, let's just blow out all this. Let's blow it out, baby. Let's just blow it out. Oh shit. Oy. Okay, let's finish this up. Like, I just burnt the hell out of myself. And I got wax all over everywhere, and I spilled the thing. Things are going crazy. Okay, y'all. I feel like you went through something probably crazy. We're just gonna toss them. You know what's actually crazy? Oh my god. This is so tying into your reading, pile 3. My finger is burning right now. Okay. I need to like clean up this mess. That's you right now. Or you were feeling that way. It was a mess you didn't want to clean up. And it feels like a mess that got out of hand. And quickly. But it was one that you were like, it got out of hand and quickly, but it was like one you were kind of waiting on that happening. So even though it was unexpected, or even though it was expected in that way, it was unexpected as well, strangely. But let's pull a charm and see, you know, oh, what I was gonna say is this, you know, me spilling the wax and like burning my cloth here, and like I'm gonna get rid of this now. But what's effing crazy, pile 3, you're getting me so excited. But what's crazy, I had just wrote on my list today, like I had just wrote on a piece of paper that I wanted to get like more cloth background pieces to like change up the scenery in my videos. And well, I didn't want to just toss this one out, but I'm not like sad about it or anything, you know. And well, I guess I just feel like the universe is sort of handling very strongly something that I wanted to do anyways. I mean, it isn't necessarily the way I would have, you know, I wasn't planning on tossing this one out. But like I said, I'm not unhappy. I just feel like everything's happening for a reason, and you're warming up, and a message of you just being ready to fly, but perhaps being a tad exhausted from the circumstances. But you're ready to fly. You know, you've transformed, and you're beautiful for it. I'm hearing too, it's time for you to let loose and just play. And there's giant, there's greatness awaiting you within that space. But you need to give it to yourself. And you will find community on the other side of this, and specifically your counterpart. And I'm hearing they will be just as wise as you are. They will be able to share in the fun that you've taught yourself to have in working your way to meeting them. You know, you guys are coming together in both of your lives. They're doing the work to pull themselves closer to you and you to them, and that will happen with time. They will be like your greatest catch, I'm hearing. It'll be like deep sea fishing. You know, everybody says there's a fish for everyone out there. There's plenty of fish in the sea. It'll be like your deep sea fishing. You catch a great white. Like you will know when you meet your person, they are for you. It'll feel like they will be like a unicorn. You will be a unicorn to them. But even in the ways that you guys will find each other so special, it'll be like you will feel fated to be together and comfortable. Like you know one another so well, even though you feel like such a mystery to one another at the same time. But pile 3, we're gonna leave your reading off there today. It's been chaotic, it's been amazing, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you found this message meaningful, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are called to, and feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you didn't already but you were called to watch another pile, I'll find you there now. But otherwise, I hope to see you in another reading soon. For now though, bye!